on my aging out.
Welcome everyone. We are back from closed session. Council moved into closed session. I apologize. Motion to go back in open session at 6 p.m. Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Hammer. All in favor? That motion carries. Council met in closed session to consider matters it is permitted to do so under the Municipal Act and is listed on tonight's council agenda. The following items were considered during the closed session. One item in accordance with council's procedure bylaw to approve in-camera meeting minutes of April 20th, 2026. The minutes were approved as written. Two items pursuant to section 239(2)E and 239(2)F of the Municipal Act as amended regarding litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals, affecting the municipality and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, a property litigation update. Direction was given to staff. Motion direction given in closed session be approved. Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Kennis. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Thank you. There are no delegations this evening. There are 2 minutes to be approved. First is the regular council meeting minutes of May 19th. Second is the strategic priorities meeting minutes of May 11th. Any questions about Deputy Mayor brings the motion? Second by Councillor Kennis. All in favor? Opposed, if any? Those motions carry. Communications. There is one communication, the temporary noise exemption to Alexandra Park, the Strathroy Hometown Festival. Motion that the temporary noise exemption be approved. Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Hippel. Before we vote, were there any questions, comments, or concerns? Councillor Kennis.
Just, I guess, is this any different? Well, I guess I should use a
Yes.
microphone. Is this any different than previous years?
Director Littlemore.
Through the chair to council, no, it is not.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor of the motion? Opposed, if any? Motion carries. There are a number of items in front of you in the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to remove anything for discussion? Councillor Pelkman.
10.2.1.
Okay. Did I see a hand there, Greg? Oh, Councillor Kennis.
10.1.3.
Okay. Councillor Derbyshire.
I'll go 10.1.2.
Okay.
Everything.
Any more? Greg, did you have one?
Nope.
Oh, there you
It
go.
was covered.
Pardon me?
It's already been covered.
Okay. We'll go with you first, Councillor Derbyshire, 10.1.2.
Thank you. I just wanted to bring this out and to everyone's attention that the events for the day will be at the Mount Bridges Lions Park, so it will be in Strathroy-Caradoc this year, and that the fireworks are at Camoka. So just wanted to pull it out and say hopefully everyone has a chance to attend. It's a good day. That was all I had to say on it.
Okay, there you go.
That was the one I was going to talk about, but on that I just want to say that the Lions and the Scouts are both going to be there. There's a bunch of stuff going off in Cenotaph Park, all across Mount Bridges. There's a lot of stuff going on. And the reason for the fireworks being in Camoka, speaking with the organizers, is due to fire safety. There is not a suitable location due to all the new growth that's been happening in Mount Bridges. The fields that we've done on, there were issues the previous times with fireworks debris falling on some of the newly built houses. So there's not an actual place to hold them in Mount Bridges, and Delaware had some of the same issues with the baseball fields and the distance to houses. So the board has decided that the only safe place is by the golf course in Camoka. So yeah, just that's fireworks will be in Camoka, but the festivities will rotate around between Delaware, Camoka, and Mount Bridges going forward.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Canis, 10.1.3.
That was me.
Yep, as I said, Councillor Canis.
Oh, I thought you said, Gary's going, sorry.
Well, I can done it once in a while.
No concerns about this one. Actually, it's just the first time I've ever seen one like this before, and I just, like, and I've seen sidewalks closed before, I guess, as an awareness thing to people out there, that if they're going to block a sidewalk for a period of time, they need to apply for that. So I don't know if staff has any comment on this, but I just raise it because, again, I've never seen it before, but I've seen lots of blocked sidewalks, and just remind people they need to do something about it if they plan to block it. So
I don't know if staff had any comment. Director Lilborn, was it a bylaw matter, or was it Walter?
Through you, no comment.
Okay. Councillor Pelkman, 10.2.1.
Yes, thank you. Just because I did see some chatter on Facebook prior to the night market about people asking if they could bring their own booze. There's no recommendation for us here to turn down the bring your own booze, because by not doing anything, we are by default saying we're not going to allow it. But I just wanted the public to recognize that we are not allowing booze at this point to any open festival. I think this whole idea is just a travesty, because it opens up so many dangerous possibilities for anybody who's organizing an event. Because now suddenly they got to police bring people who are bringing their own booze, and there's some pretty serious consequences to having a car accident after an event like that, and you're running an event. So I just wanted to point out Strathroy-Caradoc is not allowing bring your own booze to events.
Thank you. Seeing no further discussion, a motion to receive all 10 consent agenda items for information. Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor Cass. All in favor? Opposed, if any? Those carried. Reports from departments. First up is financial services, the final tax rate bylaw. Motion that the 2026 tax rate bylaw be forwarded to the consideration of bylaws section for approval. Someone bring a motion. Councillor Cass, second by Deputy Mayor. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion carries. The next is a 357 application. Motion that the report FIN 2026-15 be approved for processing, and that council approve the 2025 tax reduction as of November 25th, 2025 of $71.95. Councillor Hippel, second by the Deputy Mayor. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion's carried. Community services, janitorial services, municipal building. This motion is to approve the award of the janitorial services of the municipal building contract to Be Clean for a 3-year contract period. I'm going to bring a motion. Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Cass. Any questions, comments, concerns? Councillor Wilsey.
Are we not publishing like the costs or the rates or anything like that for either this one or the next one? I don't see either of those on the report.
Through the chair to council, it's an RFP, so the bid is not awarded on price alone. The bid is awarded on scoring. As you'll see in the report, the scoring is based on a 40% work plan, 30% qualification, or sorry, 40% qualifications and experience, 30% work plan, and 30% pricing proposal. The county has indicated that we shouldn't be publicizing all of the bids. So again, because it's based on scoring and not on pricing, we're just providing who is the successful bidder based on the overall scoring.
Yep. Go ahead, Councillor Wilsey.
So based on that, we're being asked to accept a contract without knowing the financial implications or how much it's going to cost. I just want to make sure that that's what you're asking council. So we have no idea how much we're paying for cleaning, and just because it's not listed. Except it says it'll be monthly increases should be noted over the previous contract, but no dollar amounts, no percentage amounts. Just.
Yep. Can I just ask a question, Director Laborn? You see that was on the advice of the county procurement?
The advice of the county procurement to provide not the breakdown, that is correct. I can provide you verbally what the 3-year contract award is. It is $332,384.76 over 3 years.
Okay. Any further comment? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to award the contract? Opposed, if any? Is that opposed, Greg? Sorry,
Yeah, I don't think we should be accepting it. Like, I know it's a verbal one, and they said that's fine, but
okay, no,
it
that's
doesn't
fine.
seem like good governance for
Yeah, I
it.
just wanted to see where your vote was. Next is the janitorial and caretaker maintenance services for Caradoc Community Center. So motion to approve the award of the janitorial and caretaker maintenance services contract at the Caradoc Community Center, the A+ building maintenance and supply. Someone bring a motion. Councillor Pelkman, second by Councillor Kennis. Any questions or comments? None, all in favor? Oh, sorry, Councillor Derbyshire.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, so then when we come to this one here, when you go to financial implication, it tells us it falls within the dollar amount. So, like, I understand we can at least now say, look, this is what we're looking at spending on the cost. I think at some point I appreciate the fact that the county doesn't want us to say, but it is rather difficult to approve something without really knowing the numbers.
Councillor Brennan.
I guess I'd like some clarification too, because in the previous report under financial implications, there was no number. And I'm wondering why we could not have been given the number that was given us orally on that report, whereas with the second report, we are given a number. So I'm just wondering, you know, is there a consistency here that in one we're given the number and the other we're not? I'm just wondering if that was oversight.
Through the chair to council, the financial implications on the second report doesn't give you the dollar value of the award. It tells you that it's falling within the budgeted provision of $33,456. The previous report indicated that some budgets, some areas are going to have to be managed within the operating budget because the individual budgets exceeded, so we're going to have to manage those budgets. So example being, I'll give fire station as a perfect example. Station 1 has grown in overall square footage, so yet their budget didn't increase with the new square footage versus, I'll use the museum as an example, as something that hasn't changed. So there has been some changes within the first scope, over size, some around a police station is another example. I think I gave those examples in the report. Future reports, if you would like, we can break it down into yearly dollar values, I suppose, of the winning bids, if that helps council.
Just to respond to that, I think that'd be having some financial information, some dollars on the page, what I think would be most advisable.
Yep, I agree. Sorry, Councillor Wilson, you turn your mic on.
Just quickly for clarification, I just want to make sure I heard that right. So because we exceeded our budget, we put 0 numbers on it, and because we're within budget, we showed the numbers? That was the justification I just heard there for not having numbers on the previous report because we were over budget?
Yeah, I don't believe it was intentional, council. Again, it's partially the advice of the county not to produce those numbers. But moving forward, if council would like, we can, we'll provide the overall yearly dollar value per contract on awards of such nature.
All in favor of the second motion? Opposed, if any? Motion carries. Thank you. The Splash Pad Pavilion PTP project, motion is the council approve the allocation of up to $15,000 from the PTP fund to match the Strathroy Lions Club contribution of up to $15,000. So, Councillor Hippel, second by the Deputy Mayor. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Opposed, if any? That carries. Next item is the banner policy update. Motion to council approve the recommended policy enhancements. Deputy Mayor, need a seconder. Councillor Kennis, any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Opposed, if any, motion carries. Engineering and Public Works is the award of the RFP award municipality Strathroy-Caradoc CCTV and manhole inspection. Motion is that council approve award of RFD SC 2026-30, the CCTV and manhole inspections to Great Lakes Sewer Services Limited for the amount of $109,766 and 15 cents plus HST for a 3-year period. So I'm gonna bring a motion. Councillor Pelkman, second by Councillor Kennis. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Councillor Derbyshire.
Thank you. I just had a question, I guess, more about the process that we went through. I received a phone call today in regards to this RFP, and somebody who thought they were on a list to be notified about certain work that was coming out, did not receive it, didn't really know that this award was out. They'd done this work before for us. So they had asked me what the process was, and I said I'm not really too sure. I think we've moved to the county. So I was just kind of wondering with this, and I guess that kind of leads into this new county, and I think we've been using the county, or supposed to be using the county, but it really seems like the last few months, within the last month or so, we've had a lot of these where either people didn't qualify with the county thing, or maybe we're not being notified that these are on bids and tender, or how exactly that process works. This itself doesn't, I'm okay with the way it went. I just was kind of looking for maybe a little clear answers on when we put an RFP out, like is it, or RFT, how exactly does that process go forward? And do we notify people that have asked to be notified, or is it just if you see it?
Acting Director Easter.
Yeah, so through the chair to Councillor Derbyshire, bids and tenders is a public tender process for all contractors. There is no individual email from, or notification from town staff to those contractors. It's kind of up to them to keep an eye on that and see what comes out, and then they have the opportunity to publicly bid on it.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Opposed, if any, motion carries. Green bin program implementation. Motion, council endorse staff to proceed with option 2, try recycling of bi-weekly garbage and recycling collection and weekly organics collection starting April 1st, 2027 for an average cost of $144.86 per household collected through the wheelie bin program. Councillor Pelkman, seconder. Councillor any questions? Yeah, well, we'll go with Deputy Mayor, then Councillor Pelkman, because I have a couple myself.
Thank you. So which director wrote this report? I got to slide to the top. Oh, Manager Greg Henderson. Or is Walter taking him? I wasn't sure. There you are. Great, thanks. So great program, but what I found myself weighing against was option 1 and option 2. Option 1, I think the only difference is that we would maintain weekly pickup of the black lead. And the cost of that difference is about $40 per household per year for the users that have the wheelie bin system. Am I correct?
Through the chair, yes, you're correct.
Okay. So then that was, now one other question, diapers. So I was trying to think about the users of the waste. So like a young couple that have some, oh, it could be older couple too, I guess, but people that have young children in diapers probably need pickup. They don't want that sitting around. Is that a black bin item?
Through the chair, yes, diapers are a black bin item.
So that then is my crux. So to council, thank you, Greg. In moving to a new system, and it's a great system, and I'm all in favor of the system, I want to ensure that we don't leave members of the public out by taking weekly black bin garbage away when they may find they actually need it. And I find myself considering the first year keeping the standard, what we have now, so we would have weekly, it'd be option one with weekly black bin and weekly green bin and bi-weekly blue bin, and monitor that and try to get some feedback from people about how they're using it. And then if we needed to, if we could do the savings and come down to the option 2 scenario in the following year, that gives a safety zone for the value of $40 per household per year for those residents that are using it. So I find myself more in favor of option 1 than option 2, unless there's something I'm missing here.
Councillor Pelkman first, and Councillor Pamela.
Yeah, I was just going to say that last summer I was manning the municipal booth most weekends, and this was probably the most asked question while I was there. So I think the community is looking forward to having a green bin program. I was favoring option 2, but I think the deputy mayor brings up a good point that there's going to be significant chunks of the community that won't be able to. I was thinking to myself that most of the trash that I put in the black bin will end up going in the green bin. But for someone who does have 1 or maybe 2 kids in diapers, they would have an issue. And it's not the kind of issue where you can ask a neighbor to say, hey, can I borrow some of your bin? Because mine's full. So yeah, now I'm kind of leaning toward option number 1.
Councillor Pamela and Councillor Brennan.
First, I just had a question. It says here on the chart you have that the green bin would be 95 gallons, so that's as big as the blue recycling bin? That's huge, because in other communities, it seems like the green bin is smaller. Is that correct, or is that a typo?
Through the chair, that is correct. The bin is supposed to be 95 gallons. These bins not only do your household organics, like your food waste, but I believe they're going to also accept yard waste on top of it.
Okay, that would explain why they're bigger. And I too am a little concerned with taking away weekly garbage, particularly in the hot summer months with people who have things like diapers, pet waste. Those things don't go in the green bin either. And I think that I like the idea of we give people a transition year. So it's going to take some education, first of all, to get people to understand what goes in what bin and get into a system. And then maybe, it might be more palatable in a year after you see, oh yeah, well, my black bin is, half full half the time anyway, so I probably don't need a pickup every week. And then I think if we possibly looked at that in future years, that might be a good way to help people adjust to the change and get to see firsthand. Because I think if you say to people, we're taking away your weekly recycling, their weekly garbage, there'll be a panic until we actually get to see just how it looks in each household when we divide things up properly.
Okay. Councillor Brandon.
I'm leaning towards option as well, partially because grandparents have little visitors. But also, if you go to Shoppers Drug Mart and take a look at the vast range of products for incontinence, adult incontinence is a thing. And there are many people in this community of all ages for many different reasons who use these products, and they would also be affected. So I think adult incontinence products as well as diapers swings me to option 1. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Wilsey, then Councillor Katz.
So the discussions we've had tonight mirror very much the ones that we had in the Board of Directors for the Water Recycling Agency, or the association. When we were there, we talked about the one benefit of going to bi-weekly is that it actually forces people to learn what's recyclable and not recyclable. One of the things in the green bins, you will be able to put in things that aren't recyclable now, like pizza boxes that have oil and grease in them and all those different things. Those are all going to go in the green bin now because they're not actually recyclable. So those types of things will be able to go organic waste. It's going to be a lot more that's actually going to come out of both the recycling and the garbage that can go into the green bin. So there will be an education piece around that. By keeping garbage, we're likely going to find slower adoption, and where that becomes a bigger issue is if you look at the longer term side, is we have a number of landfills that within 5 to 7 years are going to be at capacity if we keep sending our amount of garbage to them. So we're contributing to that. That being said, there's a very strong argument for diapers, incontinence products, kitty litter. All of those things take up a lot of room. They don't smell very nice to keep in your garage, so there's a lot of public pressure on that too. So there's reasons to go both ways. Some of them are more long-term, depending on how we want to look at it, but there is a transition period for residents. So I would go either way, depending on what council would like. One question I did have from the public, and this was from a few of the rural people who already do their own composting and already do their own stuff that doesn't actually go into this bin. Is there an option for residents to opt out of the green bin program and only still maintain the garbage and recycling? And that'll be through the chair to you.
Yep.
Through the chair to Councillor Wilsey, I don't believe that's an option. The rural pickup is advantageous for us because they're already out doing the routes. The green bin is collected at the same time as your garbage bin. They use the same truck and it goes to the same facility, just outside of Tri Recycling. So I don't think it would work that way.
Councillor Kennis.
Just on who's collecting, is it still all blue water trucks that are doing the collection, or will people see other trucks collecting as well?
Mr. Henderson.
Through the chair, the Blue Water Recycling Association will be still collecting the waste and organics and blue bin.
Thank you. I just have a question. We'll bring it to a vote. I think the first one will get rejected. For the Director of Finance. I apologize, Bill, I just read this a second. We have money in reserves, I think almost 300, and then 480 were transferred. It does say there to include potential implementation of new green bin collection program. Are those dollars going towards this, or are they going to be used for other solid waste?
Sorry, the question was...
The reserves, I read this one this afternoon, but there's reserves where it said in 2024 we transferred 293,000, last year for 180,000. And then in the middle of that paragraph at the very end it says towards future solid waste programs including potential implementation of a new green bin collection program. And I remember that from when we discussed it the first time. Did any of those dollars go to offset the cost? Again, I put you on the spot, Director, but I just...
through the chair to the chair. No, none of those reserve money has been allocated to this yet. This is strictly just the numbers straight from Tri Recycling.
Okay, thank you. Let's vote on the first one, which was for option 2, I believe. All in favor of option 2? Opposed, if any? Motion carries. Did anyone else wish to bring? Deputy Mayor? Oh, opposed, I'm sorry. Yeah, he said carried.
Yeah. I was opposed to it. Yeah. I just kind of put my hand down and put it back up quick. So I will make the same motion with option 1 amendment.
You have a seconder. Councillor Palmer. All in favor of option 1? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Got it right there. Metcalf Street West Crosswalk. The recommendation is the council proceed with option 2, which is to request Middlesex County to undertake a formal evaluation of the existing crosswalk on Metcalf Street West in accordance with the Middlesex County crosswalk guidelines and the Ontario Traffic Manual. So I'm going to bring a motion. Councillor Kennis, the seconder. Councillor Hippel, any questions, comments, or concerns? Councillor Palmer.
I think this is important that we bring this forward. I just want to mention when it does go to county council, asking our mayor and deputy mayor to, to stress the location of this. I know it all comes down to the science, the traffic counts, the how many pedestrians, but really we're talking about a cross that is a major crosswalk to our central largest facility, and where kids built for attendance by children, with splash water park, train rides, basketball courts, baseball diamonds, skate park. And so I think that we can't lose sight of that when we get the numbers, because they might be lower. But I would ask that our two county representatives really reiterate with county council that this isn't just about how many people cross the road. It's about the fact that this is a major recreational center, and we need to provide a safe way for people to utilize that space.
Just for clarity, for Acting Director Easter, is that report coming back to this council first before it goes to county? I may have missed that in the report.
Through the chair to council. So this recommendation, if council chooses to go with it, as per the county guidelines, it will go to the county engineer. He'll do his assessment, and then results are given. It's unclear if that goes to county council or if we bring that back here, but I can find that out. But what happens tonight goes to the county engineer for review.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Councillor Wilsey.
I'm just reading the report. Is this the same type of crosswalk right now that we have on Glendon Drive and Mount Bridges, where it's just a flashing on each side, or we're actually doing the signs over top? Because when it says RRFB, I thought that was the rectangular ones that are on the sides without anything actually over the road. So I just want to make sure we're asking for the type of crosswalk that we're being upgraded to in Mount Bridges, because if we're asking for just the signs on the side of the road that flash, we're being told by residents that those don't work.
Mr. Easter.
Through the chair to Councillor Wilsey. So option 2 isn't recommending any PXO specifically. It's for them to do the evaluation, and then they will use the Ontario Traffic Manual Matrix to determine which one is required. As you can see in option 3, we do talk about type B PXO. That is with the flashing lights. There's type A, B, C, and D. At the moment, it's just a modified type D essentially with just signs and paint. As this was done last year on a bit of a time crunch, and that's what was done at the time without the proper evaluation. So that is why we're recommending option 2 to get the proper evaluation done.
So, go ahead, Councillor Wilson.
Just as a follow-up, sorry, I was reading the level 2 type B PXO. Does that, the one that we're asking for in option 3, does that include just the lights on the side, or does that include the lights over top as well on that style?
Type B is the flashing beacons on the side that is on Glendon right now. Type A is the one with all the overhead.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Opposed, if any? Motion carries. Industrial, commercial, and institutional recycling options. Council approved option 2 for staff to provide municipal administrative services for industrial, commercial, and institutional recycling. Councillor Kenneth, second by Councillor Palmer. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Councillor Palmer.
Yeah, I'm supportive of this and glad it's been brought here. There's been a lot of confusion in the business world about what's happening with recycling and what it's going to look like and who's going to pay for it and will we lose the big bid. And I think a lot of that is because there hasn't been a lot of clear information coming from the province in regards to that. So I think it would be prudent for the municipality to take a leadership role, which is what this motion is presenting, to help sort of administer, communicate to people, get their buy-in or not, But I think we need that leadership from the municipality right now, because somebody needs to explain to businesses what's going on and help them see their way through that. So I'm supportive of this motion.
Any other comments, concerns? Councillor Wilsey.
At the BRA board meeting, most municipalities are going forward with option 2, where they're passing on most of them are passing all of it on. There's a few that are slightly subsidizing it. But most of them are passing it on and just making sure, because the alternative is that most businesses, if they're not given support to put it in, they're just going to stop recycling it. They're just going to throw everything in a dumpster. So this is a way to look out for our future, and the little bit of staff time we're putting towards it is probably one of the best uses we could have.
Seeing no other questions, all in favor of the seconded motion? Opposed, if any? Councillor Derbyshire, you need to see a hand. Are you in favor?
No, I'm in favor. I just wanted a clarification.
Sure, go ahead. I'll let you.
Just where it says user rates and then in bracket it's property taxes, that's just of the users, right? Not as a whole?
Yeah.
Okay. That was what I was in deep thought about.
Next, economic development and community engagement. Motion to approve the communications policy and the social media policy for the municipality. Councillor Kennis, second by Councillor Pelkman. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor of the policy? Opposed, if any? Carries. 137 Frank Street, the facility name. Two motions. Council approve the name Municipal Service and Community Center for the facility, and the council endorse the sign concept for the property attached to this report. Someone bring a motion. Councillor Kennis, need a seconder. Councillor Brand. Any questions concerning Councillor Pelkman?
Yes, I'm fine with the name portion. However, in the concept that was put out for the signage, I feel that the municipal logo is missing on the building itself. And so I thought there were 3 places that it needs to go, because this is a paradigm shift for how we're producing services. So it needs to be clearly visible. And I'm thinking of how we sign the new fire hall. That if you look at the wall on the south side facing Boston's drugstore, I think there should be the municipal logo on that wall. I think it should be beside the door. I know there's an electronic sign there, but I think there's a wall space there that it could go on. And then on the banner over the community center part, the logo should be over on that portion too. That way it is crystal clear to anybody, no matter which way they're driving, that they can see the town logo on the building, and it is very visible and identifiable that is where you should be going for service or activities.
Did you want to add those as amendments, or looking at Director Lalonde, did you need those as a formal amendment?
Through the chair, yes, please, we'd like it.
Okay, you want to
include
Yes, then I will add that we put the logo on the south wall next to the main door, and the banner logo over the windows towards the community center side.
Who brought the motion?
Councillor Kennis and Councillor Brennan.
You okay with those friendly amendments? Councillor Brennan? Thank you. Any other comments? Councillor Wilsey?
So, looking at all of those doors and then reading the reports, those doors are all at or past end of life, and none of them are AODA compliant. None of them are wide enough. So we're going to have to change all of those out eventually, like probably in the near future before it opens. Or we're going to be building a new building that isn't AODA compliant and a wheelchair can't get through the door. So to look at signing and concepts and say we want to put it on the banner and on the door, but then the doors don't meet compliance, I don't know if we should be. It seems like we're putting the cart before the horse. I think we should see what it's going to look like when it's compliant, and then see what we're going to look like if we want to put a logo in a specific place. The other part with the name, I think we're being presumptive. I think we're approving this budget by many different steps. Like, we're already pre-approving that the building's going to be a community center. Council hasn't approved that yet. The drawing that came before council that we did approved showed town hall. and the council chambers down there. That's the one that came in June that council actually accepted. We haven't accepted anything that shows anything different. So now we're calling it a community center when council's only approved drawing shows council chambers there. So we're approving this, we're gonna get to a point where, well, we can't change what we've done, we have to do what we already did because we already approved the name. And then we already approved the signage, and then the signage didn't meet the right doors, so now we're gonna have to change that, and we're approving things that aren't gonna be able to go forward. So it just seems like we're moving ahead blindly without knowing where we're going.
CAO Browning.
Through you to council, Mr. Mayor. If I recall, that we had a strategic priorities meeting, where we discussed the name specifically, and this was a name that council put on the table for us. So we're bringing back what we thought we heard in the strategic priorities meeting. And if that's incorrect, then please correct us.
Yep, go ahead, Councilor Boucher.
Thank you. The point really isn't about the name. I realize that's what this is about. I think it's that this is getting piecemealed together without a full, frank, and honest discussion about what's happening not only to that building down there and what we're moving there, but what's happening to this building here. Your town hall is the people's hall. You're taking what the people come to town hall for, which is customer service, and you are moving it down the road. That's not a satellite station. That's 500 feet down the road. A satellite station is in another place. So to me, if I were to name this place, I would name it the Town Hall. That's what I would put it as. This is where your customer service comes and where it goes.
Okay. Councilor Brennan.
I know we can't get there fast enough.
Point of order. Can we vote on that's not what the motion is about. That's been seconded. Can we please vote on the motion? And because
No, there's only one point of, Council, there's only one point of order allowed at a time. He's brought open a point of order, I'm gonna rule on it. That's what you're allowed. Point of order. Yeah, I agree, all council, he's made a point of order, and I'm gonna rule on it. And I agree, all in favor of the second motion. Opposed, if any? Motion carries.
So just what was the point of order? To vote?
Yeah, that it wasn't relevant to I have to rule on it, Councilor. That's my.
So I said, I think the name should be the Town Hall.
Yeah, but he asked for the vote.
No, but what point, just answer me this, what point about that was not relevant to the conversation?
He brought up a point of order asking for the vote, Councilor
No,
Brennan.
so then that's not a point of order, that's,
We had a seconded motion
Yeah, we had a
about
second.
what the name was going to be. And then we started to get into a discussion about whether or not the project is proceeding properly, or if you know, this is the people's house. We got into a whole bunch of things that we've chewed over before in our special meeting of council, our strategic priorities. It just seems that whenever we go to vote on any of the details here, we have to rehash the entire issue, which has been discussed in our special meetings. And I agree with the CAO that this is exactly the name that we basically agreed on at our meeting, and it was brought to us by staff when we're voting on it.
All right, thank you, okay, yeah. No, I think we're gonna move on, Councilor Hippel. Yep, we're gonna move on. Deputy Mayor, the County Council report.
Thank you. May 26th, last week we met. We dealt with a tax policy analysis and tax ratio changes. So this resulted in the elimination of commercial and industrial vacant and excess land discounts. So that's trying to promote the development of lands, like vacant lands in the county. There was also a Middlesex Sports 2026-27 report that we received. The result of that was there is just under $6,000 of unspent money in an account, and we motioned to divide that equally amongst the 8 communities in the county, roughly $740 each. That will be returned to our community to support children and youth accessing sports and recreational opportunities. The other report of interest to me anyways that I wanted to bring up was the Trossachs Middlesex London Paramedic Service Building renovation. This is another renovation of a building. I had previously commented the completion of the main building on York Street. Trossachs is a building we've occupied for many years. About a year and a half ago, there was a process started by County Council which resulted in us acquiring that building. So now the county owns it, and now it's being renovated, and it will match in its architecture that of the main building. So as we're going through this, hopefully all of the buildings will start to match and look really nice across the county. And that was budgeted, both the purchase of the building and the renovation was budgeted at $1.5 million. And I'm happy to say it's come in under budget right now. We awarded the tender in the amount of $470,100, and currently we're in at $71,000 under budget, which is always great. City of London is getting lots of new MLPS buildings. Hopefully we can start doing some out in the county.
Thank you. Announcements and inquiries. Councillor Hippel. We'll start there.
Thank you. There's a lot of things going on with the nice weather coming up. There are night markets, day markets. Obviously, our Saturday markets, Mount Bridges has, they have their big yard sale day, but it's a massive day there's lots going on. I mean, anyone that is on social media, it's been sprawling all over the place, but there's so much to do within our municipality, whether you're in Strathroy, Mount Bridges, there's things going on in Melbourne, and so I would just highly recommend for everyone. I mean, we could all sit around the table and we could just talk about it all the time, but it would be great to do for you to go on and look into everything that's transpiring, because not only are there festivals and markets and things like that, the Strathroy Fire Department is always doing some really interesting things where they have joint training sessions and people can come out and look. That's on social media if that's something that's viable. It's just it's always this time of year where there's so much going on. So I would really highly suggest everyone to really dig in and find out what's in our community, and that way stay in our community. You don't have to go outside of our community to find great things to do, whether it's just a couple, there's no age limit and for families or anyone. So anyways, that's it for me.
Councillor Kennis.
I wanted to mention, I was at an event on Saturday, not representing the town, but representing the Wright Foundation, and it was the number 3 Striker Squadron here in Strathroy, and Chief Beasley was there as the guest inspecting officer at the event, and I was really impressed by the event, because it's something very unique, very different from a lot of the regular sporting things that happen in town, and this group, some really dedicated volunteers and a lot of dedicated young men and women who were involved in it, who are learning a lot of different skills. Like, one of the things why the Wrights were involved in it was they have a band, and so these kids are taught how to play instruments in a brass band and all of the things associated with that. So I just want to commend them for what they do in the community, along with all of those other groups that are kind of not well known but provide a great service to the young people in our community. And again, I think that the chief who was there spending his time offering to provide guidance to those folks as well. So I wanted to mention it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Woolsey.
Yeah, I wanted to just talk a little bit about some of the discussion that we had previously when, and this dates back to when we talked about the debt schedule, what was included, with a specific motion in mind. I've since spoken to the Director of Engineering and talked about the Manager of Water and Wastewater and how he was new at the time the 2026 budget was coming through. And just to give a little bit of background, in the 2024 water rate study, there were products that required approximately $18 million in debt that were not included in either the 2025 or the 2026 capital budget. I spoke with the Director of Engineering, and based on that, I'd like to put the motion forward that the Director work with his department to bring forward a report. And for this motion, I can send you the exact wording if you like after.
That'd be great.
That the Director work with his department to bring forward a report at the first meeting in July detailing the steps that are required to approve and begin these ratepayer-funded projects with a proposed plan to approve these projects before this council goes into lame duck.
Yep.
I hope for a second.
Sorry.
Yeah, just a question, a point of order. We have a process where we submit motions ahead of time. And so should this not, I'm asking the chair, should this not be submitted as our process, which is to submit a motion to give both staff and council time to do the research and read the motion so we can properly vote on it? I feel like I haven't had the time at this point. It's just being thrown on us, and I don't think that's appropriate.
Yeah, I was actually seeking clarity from the,
I believe previous precedent in this council is we can ask for a report. We're not asking to do anything, we're asking for a staff report. We ask for staff reports all the time.
That's still a motion.
yeah. I'm asking for clarity. Sorry.
Through the chair, there is nothing noted in our procedural bylaw that prohibits it from happening. We encourage them to be sent ahead of time for transparency and be put on a public agenda. However, there's nothing that prohibits it.
And with that, this one, it's, what if there's a deadline to put it on this meeting, and if I bring it to the next meeting, it's not gonna happen before the lame duck procedure, and I just don't wanna lose another year of having ratepayer-funded projects that have already been approved by this council and not begin, which is why I brought it through an inquiries instead of doing it through the motions. By the time I get everything together, it was too late to get it on this meeting, and if I wait to the second meeting in June, it's not gonna happen.
Can I just ask, not opposed, when does the lame duck start? Because I heard you say lame duck, so I just want clarity on that. August, it's not till August 21st.
That's correct.
So
100% I agree with that, except we need a meeting to bring we're not gonna be able to see the report if I ask for it tonight until July. And then the report has to come back, and then we have to vote on it, and we only have one meeting in August. So there's only 5 meetings left. So if we don't do it tonight with their support coming back in July, we're not gonna do it.
yeah, I just wanted to clarify on the lame duck.
My apologies, there is a section.
Okay, sorry, I'm turning this over to
My apologies, I did miss it here. So 8.37 of the procedural bylaw does say that no new business shall be introduced during announcements and inquiries by members. Instead, members are encouraged to submit a notice of motion to initiate a discussion on matters of interest.
Okay, thank you. So that's the rule.
Just to clarify that, this isn't necessarily new business, it's in old studies, and it's something that we're just not doing. It's just,
No. But I'm going to go with that. You always have the option, Greg, of putting forth a notice of motion. So I'll go with the ruling of the clerk. I would encourage bring the notice of motion. Councillor Brennan.
Just a quick one. The municipal pool opened today, so people can check the schedule online and go for a dip at some point. Thank you.
Councillor Pelton.
Yes, thank you. Just want to point out that the Saturday market is on. First week we had a little bit of weather, so it got postponed to Sunday. But just want to point out that there is produce. We have secured produce vendors down there, and would just encourage people as they come down to the market that they also stop in the downtown businesses that front the market, because that's the point of having the market, is to try and generate business for the stores that are already there. So,
Thank you. Councillor Derbyshire.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank everyone that sits through these meetings and learns as much new stuff as I do every week. Thank you for your support.
Councillor Palmer.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions. I noticed there was some chatter on social media about Southfield Park. People asking for that to be developed, and I understand it was not in this year's budget, but I would just ask the director if it is on the list of potential projects for 2027. Just a question.
Through the chair to council, yes.
Thank you. Also wanted to note that it's Crossing Guard Appreciation Week, so please give a big thank you as you walk by your crossing guards. They're out there during all kinds of weather and dealing with all kinds of situations, which particularly what they're dealing with these days is e-scooters and e-bikes. And I noticed that the our local police department is doing an information session, and I was just wanted to ask Director Browning whether there will be any presentation made to council from the police department.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Pammer, we can request that from the police service if that's council's desire. They haven't offered it up to us, but I'm glad to ask them.
Deputy Mayor.
Nothing from me, thank you.
I have one that was important last week, and I'm going to ask Director Lalonde to help me. Last week we had a number of first-year medical students here as part of Discovery Week. The idea being to discover and experience rural medicine. This is the second year I've been involved in it. It's a great initiative, great group of students, and let's hope that at some point in time it bears some fruit for the municipality. So I know you're involved in it, Director. Thank you very much. And thank you to the hospital for organizing it. Thank you. Next is a consideration of bylaws. Bylaw number 4826, bylaw number 4926. Receive first, second, and third final reading. Someone to bring a motion. Deputy Mayor. Second by Councillor Kennis. All in favor? Opposed, if any. Motion carried. Your next meeting is this coming Monday night. Note it's at 5 p.m. Strategic Priorities meeting. Motion to adjourn at 6:57 p.m. Councillor Kennis, second by Councillor Hippo. All in favor of adjournment? Motion carried. Thank you, everyone.